Hi, this is Joanne Hewins. I'm here with LoveToCreate.typepad.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I want to talk to you about the Ride With Me bundle. It comes with this stamp set and then the truck ride dies. And the truck, it cuts out a real truck, and we're going to talk about how to put that together today. You can find that in your catalog on page 55, and it shows the stamp set, and then it shows some of the trucks that are made with that and how you can even do something flat with that. And I am noticing over the last few days on Facebook lots of variations to this truck, and I'm sure it's going to be showing up on Pinterest. So some really exciting things. Today we're going to stick to the basics on making this truck. This is for a make and take that I recently did at a bingo, and I'm just going to basically talk about how to put the truck together. Now our final product is going to look like this, and I want to tell you that my first thing that I noticed about this truck is it is much, much smaller than I thought it would be. In the catalog, it showed a picture. I don't know that I can find it that quickly, but it showed, here it is, a picture at the beginning of the truck with the box, and I thought that was one of the boxes that Stampin' Up! Has for sale right now. It isn't, because it won't hold that box. It's just very small. In fact, I was trying to think of something to put in my truck for my bingo, and I thought, oh, I'll put these little log candies. Trucks can haul logs, and you can see they really are way too big to go in my truck. I had already ordered them, so we're using them anyway. I used a few glue dots here in the back to hold it in place, and it just kind of leans on the top of the truck. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. So I'm going to put this truck out of the way, and we're going to get ready to cut the other. Now for my truck, I used real red. I wanted a red truck, and I cut it from a piece of real red cardstock, 4.5 by 6. Now if you cut that 4.5 and 4.5 and 6, you can get 2 out of each sheet of paper. In fact, I do the 6 first and then do 4.5 and 4.5. Well, I've got my cutter here. Let's just cut that. Now I'm not where I usually tape, and I've got a lot of junk sitting around. I'm all set up for the bingo that we're going to have on Saturday. So I'm going to put this on 6 and cut it there, and then we can do 4.5 and 4.5. And you can see that this is large enough. Those are two the same size, and it's large enough to get the truck. Now you only need one of the trucks to make it. So there you go, 2 from each sheet, with a little left over for your fenders and other things. The die set also has 2 dies to cut the wheels. It has 2 of the fender dies, but they are not the same. You can see one has the bigger on one end and the other has it on the other end, and that's because you've got 2 sides of your truck. And then this is the front grille that you can cut out. We'll be using that. And then this is for some of those items that you can actually put in the truck, the pumpkins and the tree and the balloons. So let's get started with putting it together. You're going to, what I did was stamp first, and I used the I Love Stampin' stamp down here on the bottom. The grill went up here on the front, and then I did stamp the 2 windows because I wanted that door handle. So there's a different stamp for each side because they have a certain direction that you want to follow. So I went ahead and stamped that. And I think we're going to go ahead and decorate the truck before we actually put it together. You don't have to wait, but I think that's what we're going to do. And I am going to, I stamped these little windows, and I'm just going to cut these out with my scissors. They're straight lines. They don't have framelits or dies for those, but they're straight lines. They're easy to cut out. So I'm going to just cut around that. And I am going to leave a little bit of space so that you can see that black line. These were stamped with Memento Black ink pad. So I have that here. So let me go ahead and cut these out quickly. Sometimes when I'm kind of in a hurry, I just can't get myself to hurry. And I am just cutting that door handle off. I wanted it on the truck, but I don't need it again. And you could do that, but we're not going to mess with that today. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. And I'm going to use glue to put my stuff on here. And the color that I'm using for the windows is gray granite. So I'm going to go ahead and put this little grill piece that I cut out. Just a little bit of glue on that. And adhere that. And then I wanted to do the lights. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for that. And I just used a hole punch, just a regular old hole punch to stick those out. And I found that an easy thing to do, they just fit directly on our glue dots. So I'm just going to stick that on there like that. And then I'm going to use my pick your up tool to put those on. So there's that. And then we want to glue the windows. So this is the front window. It's going to go right in here. And then your side windows, there will be a specific side. You want to look to where that point goes and get it at the right place. And then your back window is one of those that looks like you can slide it open. And I am going to put it up here closer to the crease. And I'm going to go ahead and do my wheel covers also. I'm going to put that glue up near the top of that. And then let's see which one I need. This one. That will dry clear. And then I'll add the wheels on this side. I'll use my tool to help me get that. Sometimes having these fingernails makes it hard to maneuver. Okay. And then I'm, okay, then we'll turn that around and do the other side. So let me turn those over. And I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on the back of these wheels also. Okay, and then the wheels. So there are all the pieces to the truck. Now, as I said, you can put those pieces on a little bit later. I think it's a little easier to go ahead and do it before you do all your folding and everything, but it really doesn't matter. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder and fold on the score lines for that. And then these little tabs. And then you've got these tabs back here. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is a little challenging to get together, I think, but this kind of thing does challenge me. So for some people it's hard, and for some it's easy. But you do have to kind of hold it with the glue, but I think the glue is, to me, it's easier to use. And then we have these tabs up here at the front that we also need to get. Okay, I think I've got all my tabs and all of the lines folded. And so I'm going to start at the front of my truck, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these two. Now this window and that window just come together like that. So this will go under here, and then this will go back under there. So all of that fits together. With the glue, I think you can move it around enough that you get it where it needs to be, and then you can hold it for a few seconds and you'll have it. So there it is. The window just comes down beside the other window, and then those tabs go there and there at the front. So we'll do the other side. So turn it this way. The windows go side by side, and this tab will go even with that, and then the front bends down. So I'm just going to hold that a few seconds. Okay, so there's the front of the truck. Alright, and we're ready to do the back. Now these tabs, these small tabs, are going to go behind the back window. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue there. And I just kind of bent the whole back of the truck below the sides. And I'm just going to hold that for a few minutes and let it get settled. And then we'll be ready for the back. And for that, you've got these flaps. We'll do one side and then the other. We've got that flap and that one. This is going to go just below the line of the truck. And then, and push it, you want to push it enough that this is even back here. Okay, and then let me get this last little bit. Okay, what I was looking at here is to see if I had this kind of straight and even there. So there's the truck. I hope that you were able to see what I was doing with that. Oops, sorry about that. All right, now let's talk for a minute about the treat that I put inside. I just got a bag from a big box store, and I was able to put in 3 of the little logs. And what I'm going to do is take I'm going to take some glue dots and kind of put those here and use that to hold them in my truck when I'm ready to put them in there. Now, I used some of this leaf ribbon because I thought it went along with the logs just a little bit, and because I've had that ribbon forever and I haven't known what to do with it. This is back in the ribbon page here. Now, I will tell you that I saw a sample in our catalog where they had put some Versamark on there and some gold embossing powder, and it was really pretty. I can see that you could use that for that, but I've just been challenged to find a use. And then we're also using this braided trim. So I tied the bag shut with the braided trim, and I kind of put a piece of that, about 6 inches of the leaf ribbon underneath there. And then I tied that on. And then we are going to make a little tag to go with that. I used the stamp set, or the stamp that said, "I'm always here to pick you up." But I wanted this to be a treat that just said, "to pick you up." So what I did to do that is I put a piece of tape over the top that I didn't want to print. And then I'm going to use my real red, and I'm going to stamp that with that, and then you remove the tape. If you don't remove the tape, you'll have a mess. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that. And you can see I've got just the "to pick you up" on there. And so I cut that out using the stitched nested labels, and I'm using this one to do that. So I cut that out, and this was my finished label. And then I'm going to take a hole punch and put a little hole in there. I'm sorry to say that this hole punch is now retired. And then I'm going to use some of the linen thread to go through the tag, and then I'm just going to tie that on there. So it's going to end up having quite a few threads on there, but I think that just makes it special and makes it pretty. So I'll just trim that end right there a little bit. And we're ready to put it on those glue dots, and hopefully it will hold it in our truck. Now, this makes the truck a little bit top heavy, so it kind of wants to fall backwards. My idea to fix that, I think, would be to maybe take some pennies and attach them back here so that this front part weighs a little bit more. So we'll see about that. So here it is. Here's my truck. It was a make and take for, like I said, a bingo event. You need to try this truck. It's really cute. I know a lot of little guys and maybe some girls too who would love to have this as part of their birthday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, if you need supplies to make this, you can go to lovetocreate.typepad.com, and there's a link to my store. There's also a link to my store below this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.